Section 11 of The Whys of Cooking by Janet McKenzie Hill. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Betty B. Cooking Suggestions. Suggestions for cooking at high altitudes. At sea level, water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. At higher altitudes, the air is rarer and atmospheric pressure is diminished, and water boils at a lower temperature than 212 degrees Fahrenheit. For each rise of about 530 feet above sea level, the boiling point of water falls 1 degree. At 5,000 feet above sea level, the boiling point of water is about 202 degrees Fahrenheit, and at 10,001 feet, the boiling point is about 193 degrees Fahrenheit. Thus, when potatoes are boiling at 10,000 feet altitude, they are subjected to about the same degree of heat as potatoes cooking on the coast in a double boiler or a fireless cooker, and in consequence a longer time must be allowed to cook them. In a few words, while 30 minutes will suffice to cook a potato on the seacoast, from 60 to 90 minutes would be needed at 10,000 feet. This variation depends on atmospheric pressure, which varies according to the altitude. All other lines of cooking are influenced by this same variation of pressure. As strong heat is necessary to sear over the outside of meats to be boiled or roasted, that the juices be kept within the meat, and as boiling water at high altitudes sears over but imperfectly, it is best to subject such joints first to hot dry heat in a frying pan. Turn the meat, as each surface is crusted over, until all the surfaces have been so treated. Then transfer to boiling water or the oven to complete the cooking at the usual temperature, 165 degrees to 170 degrees Fahrenheit. In cake making at high altitudes, the external atmospheric pressure being less, the cell walls holding the gases generated by the leavening agents and the creaming of the Crisco and the sugar tend to expand too much, burst and run together, and the outer cell walls not yet being sufficiently hardened by heat also settle and the cake is heavy. The remedy is to maintain equilibrium between external and internal pressure, and this is done by the formation of less air cells, i.e. in practice by the use of less shortening and sugar or less leavening agent, or by increasing the tenacity of the dough, in practice by being sure to use fresh eggs and more of them. Any of the recipes for cakes, cookies, or shortened mixtures given in this book can probably be used successfully by simply cutting down the quantity of Crisco 1/3 and sugar 1/4. Sugar and water for frosting and fondant requiring longer cooking than at sea level, the syrup will register from 218 degrees to 220 degrees Fahrenheit at the soft ball stage. Weights and measures. 3 teaspoonfuls of liquid equal 1 tablespoonful. 4 tablespoonfuls of liquid equal 1/2 gill or 1/4 a cupful. 1/2 a cupful equals 1 gill. 2 gills equal 1 cupful. 2 cupfuls equal 1 pint. 2 pints, 4 cupfuls equal 1 quart. 4 cupfuls of liquid equal 1 quart. 4 cupfuls of flour equal 1 pound or 1 quart. 2 cupfuls of Crisco solid equal 1 pound. 1/2 a cupful of Crisco solid equals 1/4 a pound, 4 ounces. 2 cupfuls of granulated sugar equal 1 pound. 2 1/2 cupfuls of powdered sugar equal 1 pound. 1 pint of milk or water equals 1 pound. 1 pint of chopped meat solid equals 1 pound. 10 eggs without shells equal 1 pound. 8 eggs with shells equal 1 pound. 2 tablespoonfuls of Crisco equal 1 ounce. 4 tablespoonfuls of Crisco equal 2 ounces or 1/4 a cupful. 2 tablespoonfuls of granulated sugar equal 1 ounce. 4 tablespoonfuls of flour equal 1 ounce. 4 tablespoonfuls of ground coffee equal 1 ounce. 1 tablespoonful of liquid equals 1/2 ounce. 1 cupful of liquid to 1 cupful of flour for pour batters. 1 cupful of liquid to 2 cupfuls of flour for drop batters. 1 cupful of liquid to 3 cupfuls of flour for dough. 1/3 to 2 or more cakes of compressed yeast softened in 1/2 cupful of water to 2 cupfuls of liquid. 1/3 yeast cake to 2 cupfuls of liquid is used in bread mixed at night. 1 cake or more, according to the time available for rising when bread is mixed in the morning. By using several yeast cakes to 2 cupfuls of liquid, bread may be baked in 3 or 4 hours from time of mixing. 1/2 a cupful of liquid yeast, either compressed yeast dissolved in 1/2 cupful liquid, or any other yeast such as potato yeast, to 2 cupfuls of liquid. 1 teaspoonful of soda and 3 1/2 level teaspoonfuls of cream of tartar to 4 cupfuls of flour. 2 teaspoonfuls of baking powder to 1 cupful of flour when eggs are not used. 1 teaspoonful of soda to 2 cupfuls of thick sour milk. 1 teaspoonful of soda to 1 cupful of molasses. 1/4 a teaspoonful of salt to 4 cupfuls of milk for custards. 1/4 a teaspoonful of salt to 1 cupful, or 1 teaspoonful to 4 cupfuls of sauce or soup. 1 teaspoonful of flavoring extract to 4 cupfuls of custard or cream. 1 tablespoonful of flavoring extract to 4 cupfuls of mixture to be frozen. 2/3 cupful or less of sugar to 4 cupfuls of milk for custards, etc. 1 cupful of sugar to 4 cupfuls of milk or cream for ice cream. 4 eggs to 4 cupfuls of milk for plain cup custard. 6 to 8 eggs to 4 cupfuls of milk for molded custards. 1/4 a package or 1/2 an ounce of gelatin to 2 cupfuls scant of liquid. 3 cupfuls of water or of milk or stock to 1 cupful of rice. 1 ounce, 2 tablespoonfuls of Crisco, 1/2 ounce, 2 tablespoonfuls of flour to 1 cupful of liquid for sauce. 1 ounce, 2 tablespoonfuls of Crisco, 1/2 ounce, 2 tablespoonfuls of flour to 2 cupfuls of liquid for soups. 1 cupful of cooked meat or fish cut in cubes to 3/4 or 1 whole cupful of sauce. Meat from 3 1/2 pound chicken equals about 2 cupfuls or 1 pound. Things to remember in connection with the recipes. When using in place of butter, add salt in the proportion of 1 level teaspoonful to 1 cupful of Crisco. When there is smoke in the kitchen, Crisco has burned or heated too high for frying, or some may have been on the outside of the pan or kettle. When using Crisco in your regular recipes, remember that as it contains no moisture, it is much richer than butter, and therefore 1/4 less should be used. In making sauces, thoroughly blend the flour and Crisco before adding the milk. In using melted Crisco in boiled dressing, croquettes, rolls, fritters, etc., be sure that the melted Crisco is cooled sufficiently so that the hot fat will not injure the texture of the foods. Crisco, like butter, is susceptible to heat and cold. When too hard, simply put in a warm place. End of section 11. Recording by Betty B. End of The Whys of Cooking by Janet McKenzie Hill.